Alright, what's going on, guys? G.Casey here with another episode of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. This is episode number 2, and we are just about to run up on Lan. Let's go talk to him.
No, I can't just walk away. It's got to be here somewhere.
You struggle to make out the man's features in the gloom. As soon as he steps into the circle of light, however, you realize that you have never encountered a creature like this before. The stranger looks like the work of a vivisectionist who attempted to stitch together a lizard and a man.
Wenduok!
He has a curling horn protruding from his head. I guess we can see that.
Lan, did you find it? Who is that?
She's a cross between a cat and a spider.
The do-gooders here to save our mongrel souls, no doubt. Wait. They might know what's going on up there.
What is this place?
This is the hall where we remember the glory of our forebears. Sorry about the mess. It doesn't usually look like this, trust me. Sometimes we even wipe the dust off the exhibits.
This is where the relics of the first Crusaders are displayed. Our lives are short. Our glories are quickly forgotten. But this place helps us to remember that we are just as worthy as anyone else. And that our lives are not lived in vain.
The first Crusaders? You've been down here that long? That's crazy.
Alright, demons are laying waste to Canabras.
If things are as bad as you say, then we all have to hurry.
You didn't come from the direction of the shield maze. Damn it. I couldn't care less about what's happening on the surface, but the maze.
I realize that you guys have your own troubles, but we need to be in Canabras. People are dying up there. Please, show us the way out.
Who are you, tieflings?
Tieflings are the descendants of people who sullied themselves by mating with demons. Our ancestors would never sink that low. We are the Underground Crusaders, the children of the Crusade's finest.
Sadly, Underground Crusaders is a bit of a mouthful, so people usually just call us mongrels.
You just love repeating that, don't you, Lan? Mongrels. That's what the Uplanders call us. But we call ourselves Neithers.
Okay.
No matter what you call us, it's not gonna stop our horns, hooves, or tails from growing.
I've never heard of Underground Crusaders before.
In Canabras, they're called mongrels. People say that they come up to the surface at night and eat anyone foolish enough to wander alone after midnight. To tell you the truth, I thought you guys were just a tale to tell kids at night.
That's human gratitude for you. Our forefathers suffered the consequences of demonic corruption, all to protect Mendev and Golarion. And for what? So we could become monsters used to frighten children.
So Mendev is a nation defined by its conflict with abyssal forces. Golarion is the world, or the planet. So just so you know. So Golarion is like Earth and Mendev is like America.
Every mongrel has their own take on it. Our chief, for example, thinks of us as something like a reserve military force. He thinks we're standing by until the moment we're needed, and when we emerge on the surface and save the day, all the people will see how good we are, and they'll love us for it. Yeah, he leaves that last part out when he talks about it, of course, but it's easy enough to read between the lines.
Okay, what are you doing here?
That's none of your bit.
We're looking for a holy sword. It was here, in the center, sticking out of a rock. The sooner we find it, the better. Some kids from our tribe took off for the shield maze. They figured it had collapsed, and now it's their time to go up to the surface, like all the legends foretold. Except they don't have a clue what's waiting for them up there. They're not fighters. And Saul, the chief of our tribe, is dead set against it. He says that now isn't the time for the underground crusaders to take up arms. If we get the Holy Sword, we might be able to change the chief's mind.
It's a fool's errand. None of us will be able to hold the sword, let alone use it to save anyone. It's not an ordinary weapon. It's made from righteous heavenly flame, and will burn anyone who touches it. Do you think you're special, Lan?
I'll pick it up with my teeth and tie it to my hand if I have to. It doesn't matter. An angel's sword and a troop of stalwart mongrels will be able to work a minor miracle. Speaking of which, you're still here, Wendu, which means that deep down, you know it's possible.
Alright. They keep talking about a shield maze. What's that?
Yes. There are other ways up, but they are far from here. And after the earthquakes, there's a good chance they've collapsed. But the maze... There's a legend among our people that when the walls of the maze fall, that will be a signal for us, the underground crusaders, that the time has come to go up to the surface and fight the demons in the final confrontation. Until then, the people say the maze is shielding us from taking rash actions. I'm the only one in our whole tribe to have been in the maze. And even I don't know if it's true. But the further I went in the maze, the fresher the air became. That means that it really must lead to the surface.
Okay.
When the ceiling and walls started shaking, the young ones in our tribe lost their heads. They figured the maze was going to collapse, so it was time to go up to the surface. They grabbed whatever weapons were on hand and ran off toward the maze. They think the maze is no longer a danger to them. They've been listening to Wendwag too much.
Well, I mean, the walls are shaking and the demons are attacking up on the surface, so maybe it is their prophecy.
Don't try to blame this on me. Yes, I told them that our people are capable of making our way through the maze. In the future. But I always told them to wait until I had made a map of all the maze's dangers. I warned them 100 times. But it was no use. My words just went in one ear and out the other.
Okay, a sort of holy flame? How did it wind up down here?
It came here with its owner. A long time ago. 50,000 gongs to be precise.
70 years ago, in Uplander time.
50,000 gongs ago, our forebears found a dead angel here, along with the bodies of his comrades. The tribe gave them a dignified burial, and they were laid to rest with their weapons. But the flaming angelic sword was stuck in a rock, and no one was able to pull it out. It burned to the touch, like real fire. So the rock was placed over the angel's grave. It should be here somewhere.
Maybe the angel will dig himself out and find the sword for us. That might be our best shot in this chaos.
So angels are a group of altruistic celestials native to all three upper planes, Nirvana, Heaven, and Elysium. Kinda neat.
Lan, watch your tongue.
Okay, we'll find the sword faster if we work together. I'll help you.
Thanks. An extra pair of eyes can only help. The sword will be easy enough to spot. It looks, swordy. Help us, and in return, we'll get you out of here.
Now we're talking. Let's get to work. It's a good thing we all bumped into each other, isn't it?
What, you want to find the sword quickly so the underground monsters bring you back to the surface? So be it.
Okay. So, Lan seems like
Found anything?
a friendly dude. And Wendwag seems unfriendly. Do we have any religion? Let's loot all this stuff. What's this? Unknown Knight. Did we fail? Oh, succeeded. The technique is crude, but the figure was clearly crafted with genuine feeling. Judging by the style of the armor, the knight is from the First Crusade. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Improvised museum or some kind of temple.
I found something.
Grinding stones.
Now what is that?
Handful of gems. And I knew this one was the one, so we're gonna click on this. Day 15, month Erodius, or Erodus. A strange flash pierces the gloom, and His Age feels drops of searing blood run down his chest. The wound healed by Tarendalev reopens and weeps scarlet, but there is no pain or weakness. A hazy scene appears, a cave chamber. This one, or another one entirely? His Age's heartbeat quickens, and a stream of thoughts suddenly bursts into his mind. Thoughts that clearly belong to another. Treachery, they betrayed me, trapped me and stabbed me in the back. My trusted allies, my treasured friends, the people I swore to protect, the people for whom I descended from heaven and came to this turbulent mortal world. There they are up ahead in the gloom of the cave. What are they waiting for? Are they afraid to draw any closer? Do they believe I am about to die from their traitorous blows? Next to me, a quiet moan. A girl with a golden braid lies on the rocks, clutching her slashed side. She refused to join with the traitors and paid dearly for it. I could have tried to run, but I will not. Whilst I still have the strength, I must. While recognizing the foreign origin of these thoughts, His Age intuits that he can control them somehow. Let's try to heal the wounded girl. A spark of healing magic illuminates the eerie, murky scene before His Age. The wounded girl opens her eyes and whispers, Lariel, you said that everything was going to change soon. You said you and the other warriors of heaven would be leaving us on a grand mission to stop the demons forever. Is that true? The frenzy of foreign thoughts comes faster and faster, like a rushing river, and images flash by one after another. A priestess in colorful robes observing the stars. A young female paladin praying and clutching her glowing sword. A majestic golden-winged angel gazing into the distance. His face covered by a helmet, but his voice ringing clear. Only if you're willing, and only if you're ready. There is no going back. You don't waste your strength... Then don't waste your strength on healing me, the girl whispers. Your mission is more important. You take care. It's near. Oh. There, in the vision, the darkness in the cave stirs into motion. Something massive appears from within its depths. A vague shadow, an outline, a nightmare come to life. A wave of odious chirruping and rustling emanates from the shadow, the sound piercing like hot irons, lancing through flesh and bone. The traitor falls to their knees before the shadow in reverent ecstasy, and the wounded girl thrashes in her death throes. The yawning chest wounds burn white hot. His Age's head pounds with pain, and it is no longer clear whose pain it is, the person called Lariel who sent the vision, or the one unlucky enough to receive it. We can do a will save. Knowledge is going to be a better chance. But His Age knows how to resist a malign influence such as this, no matter its origin. Okay, we succeeded. We rolled a 20. Wow, okay. The force of the attack, though originating in a vision, is terrifying, but His Age is stronger. He shakes off the pain and torpor, but alas, the one who sent the vision cannot claim the same. He is broken and exhausted. This is Descari here. picking up the angel. A monstrous shadow emerges from the murk of the cave. It is not real. It exists only in this strange vision or memory, but the thrill of fear it provokes is more than real. The shadow's features starkly resemble those of Discari, the terrifying demon lord. In a movement as swift as thought itself, the monster's hand is wrapped around the throat of the one they call Lariel. The foolish angel struggled on the rocks like a fly with its wings torn off, intones the shadow. Its voice changes as it moves, shifting from a quiet whispering to a sonorous shout, becoming young, then old, and quavering. Where is your goddess, angel? Where is her self-assured herald? How is it that you are dying here alone, so far from the light of your heaven? And we get just arbitrarily 22 experience, okay. A strange calm envelops the thoughts of the one called Lariel. He recognizes who stands before him, and he knows he will never bow down before this enemy. The flaming sword flares to life in his hand, bright, pure, flickering with multicolored sparks like a sunbeam through the stained glass. Slash. The blade slices through the demonic creature's flesh, and the monster recoils with a howl, releasing his grip on Lariel's throat. The angel falls back heavily onto the rocks. His vitality is ebbing, but his pride remains undiminished. He grips the sword and with his last burst of strength, plunges it into the rock. His age senses that the vision is fading, the rush of thoughts diminishing like a river running dry. The last thing he hears is, "You will kill me, monster, this I know. But one day someone will come here and raise up my sword. They will raise it up and..." Do we punish the evildoers and traitors, or do we save and protect the innocent? I would say we punish the evildoers. The vision disappears, vanishing in a burst of colors. His age does not hear the final words, but he seems to complete the thought, taking it to heart. The words fly from his lips, and with them, something else. The heat blazing in his age's chest fades away. The edge of the scarlet wound closes, leaving not even a scar behind. Looking down, his age sees the flaming sword in his hand, or rather, its outline. The memory of what the sword looked like. With a final surge of warm and soothing light, the sword vanishes and the light is drawn into his hands. His age senses that it will return. All he need do is call it.
Hey, are you all right? You were kinda glowing just now.
Sela kneels before the light, offering up a prayer to Iomedae. She is the inheritor, light of the sword, and lady of valor.
That was it. The light of heaven. But how?
What did you do with it? Where did it go?
I think I saw the memories of Lariel, the angel who died here.
Lariel? That really was Lariel? The angel from the legends. The ancestors even got his name right on the gravestone. The chief will be thrilled.
You. Thousands of gongs and no one's been able to touch it. And now you, an ordinary creature of flesh and blood, no different to us, get the sword and start talking about visions.
Now, Wentwog, don't be a sore loser. He is clearly different from us. The sword appeared before him, along with the angel's name and all that other stuff, because he doesn't carry our mongrel taint. Heaven doesn't give a damn how special we are. We're born with evil inside us. Heaven doesn't need to know any more than that. I know you're willing to tear anyone apart to uphold our people's honor, but you and Sol, you just refuse to face the truth. We are the way we are because our ancestors' bodies were corrupted by the Abyss. It does the same thing to plants and animals. There's nothing heroic or special about it. It doesn't make us better, and it doesn't make us worthier.
Did you see it too? The traitors, the dying girl?
It's only us here. Your group, you, me, Wendu, and the light of heaven that sort of got, sucked into you. Any chance you can whip it out again? We do kinda need it. Sorry, I crack jokes when I get nervous. And when I'm upset. And when I'm happy. Anyway, what I said, it came out wrong. We need to bring you to Chief Sull. You can show everyone the light of heaven, we'll rally the tribe and go into the maze, and we'll get back our kin.
And what if he can't make it happen a second time? What then? The tribe will just say we're crazy and turn its back on us.
Well, it seems that I can control it. So we're using the Angel Mythic Path to reveal the light of the heavens.
That is just... wow, I mean, that's amazing! Heaven has truly blessed you.
This power is the most majestic thing I've ever seen in all my life. Is this what the sun is like, Lan?
Yes, it's similar. But this light is more... golden? Chief Sull needs to see this. Now that we have the power of angels on our side, he can't say no. He'll have to assemble a troop to storm the maze. You Uplanders care about your kids, right? Help us save ours. Without them, we won't survive. And then, the perils of the maze won't be so bad if we go together. We'll make our way through it and find the way to Kenabres.
Okay, lead us to your chief, and I'll decide if I'm going to help you or not.
Let's go. We'll take the short route. Well, the only route, really.
Okay. So this is an interesting part of the game where you do skill checks. It seems like only one person needs to do them. Everybody has protection from evil, by the way.
Not this time.
Oh, we failed it. Oh, I clicked on her and asked her to do it. If we have the whole party selected, it will pick the one who has the best chance, and only one person needs to succeed at it. That's basically what this is saying. Alright, we got a giant spider over here. We have new party members, so we can have a quick look. We have Lan, who is lawful neutral. He is a Zen archer, which is a monk archetype. He's going to be an archer specialist, using a longbow. And then we have Wenduwag, who is a fighter. But if we look at her... she has weapon proficiency short bow. Also, she is a neutral evil. But she is also a archer focus, which I thought was a bit strange.
I'll cut you wide open.
We just have a ton of archers on our team.
Save the last one for me.
Let's cast a spell. I know we don't need to. Let's cast one magic missile on this giant spider. Oh, it died. That's why we don't need them. But eventually we will, so. We have a nice party now. We're going to put us in the back, as usual. Let's check our formation. Yeah, I mean, we are all archers. And we can do a quick... oh, she doesn't have lay on hands yet. Okay. Level 2, she'll get that. Another mobility check. There's some loot here. Just a bunch of weird stuff. Some scrolls.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
Earth elemental. Oh, she got hit pretty hard. Okay, maybe now's the time. Magic missile against you. Oh, it died. Again. Okay. Sela took a pretty big hit.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Wait. So you can press Y to get off that. Okay.
What's that there?
35 gold and a wand of Cure Light Wounds. Okay, since we have... Yeah, we can definitely... You don't equip it, you just put it here, I believe. And if we click on...
I stand ready.
We have 15 charges. We can use one on her. So each time we use it, I think we have to roll the device. We have to roll, yeah. Actually, that's... So we do get a +9 to use it, but we still have to roll a 20. So it's basically a 50% chance it can fail. For now, but we'll get stronger and stronger at it. But it worked that time. So that is good.
Forget it.
He failed. And now we made it. Okay.
Onwards.
A young giant fly.
The spirits demand your blood!
There we go. I mean, it's not so bad that we have so many archers. They can definitely peg things from far away. I'm skipping the tutorials on how Pathfinder works just because they're not really necessary for me. You don't have to worry too much about it. Basically, the more we increase our stats, the better chances we have to hit, the better chances we have to do damage. It's a simplified way of saying it, but that's all you need. Alright, we have more spiders. Let me attack. Okay, actually, you two go after that.
The light. Take you.
The ranged ones will go up to the back one.
I found something.
Everything died.
Let us be off.
A masterwork greatsword. That's pretty cool. We are proficient in greatsword, but we just have such low strength that it will still have a hard time using it.
Let's move.
Wendell glances at Lan, who is fixing his slipped bowstring, and quickly walks over to you. Her cat-like eyes glow from beneath her hood. Listen here, you. I don't know who you are or where you come from. We already said who we are and where we come from. But you and I are the only two people who see things clearly. That's why I'm asking you, don't show the light of heaven to Sol. Don't you want to save the kids lost in the maze? I do want to, but I'm not going to risk the future of the tribe for the sake of a few stupid kids. Chief Sol is hesitant, and for good reason. He also understands how dangerous this is for the tribe. Lan's the only one who benefits from these childish games of heroism. I'll go alone if I have to and find them, or whatever's left of them, without any heroics, relying only on myself. That seems contradictory. Risking only my own life. You and your friends, you can come with me, perhaps. You can come with me. Perhaps we can make it to the end of the maze together and find a way to the surface. But Lan is sure that the light should be shown to the mongrels. Lan. He wants to play the hero. His first idea, if you remember, was to grab the sword and run headlong into the maze. Does that sound like a plan to you? To me, it sounds like suicide. The worst part is that the tribe might actually take his words to heart and follow where he leads. But I thought you considered the mongrels to be great warriors. The descendants of great warriors. I believe that my people are worthy of greatness, that we are strong and we can do many things. That's why we were chased down here. We scared people. But it's one thing to go hunting in the caves and another to fight in this shield maze. I've been there. I've spent my whole life training so I can make it through all the way to the end. There were more of us trackers at the start. We were young and stupid. What's a couple monsters when there's a whole world out there waiting for us? That's what we thought, but we weren't prepared. The maze isn't just a physical challenge, it's cunning and full of traps. It's dark as a primordial night, And if you close your eyes and listen, you hear whispers right behind you, and soft singing in the distance that seems to rise and fall with the beating of your heart. She looks away. I had to learn from my friends' mistakes. I had to step over their bodies and go further. I don't want to have to do that again. And it will happen again if a crowd of ill-prepared fighters burst into the maze with no idea where they're going, all because Lan believes that a glowing sword will solve all our problems. I'll think about it. Let's go. Don't show the chief the light, and I'll lead you through the maze to the surface. I swear it. Alright, so we can go through here, I guess. Nidhogg. Because we came from here. Yes, we did. Are we tired? Yeah, we're fatigued. When you're fatigued, you get a permanent -2 penalty to strength and dexterity. After a complete rest, we'll no longer be fatigued. There are mongrels here. Do you all say the same things? Oops. Here's the chief. Your first impression of the mongrel village is of a squalid dump with the odors to match. Unblinking, glowing eyes watch you from the gloom, and deformed shadows slope between the huts. You see some mongrels gutting white eyeless fish, while others are repairing fishing nets. All the signs of a normal village life, but tense expectation hangs in the air. A heavy-set aged mongrel slowly shuffles his way toward you. The hair on his head grows in limp, wispy strands, and his face has a distinctly rat-like appearance, with a pronounced teeth, and you hear a rattling sound in his chest with every breath he takes. One of his eyes is white, fully scarred by cataracts, while the other gleams with moisture. Uplanders, eh? End times are upon us, indeed. I'm not going to do the accent. Chief Sol, we found the angel's sword. We found the one who can wield it. And we found the one who can wield it. He points at us. He had a vision, and now the angel's sword, together with the light of the heaven, are somehow inside him. Gather the tribe. Anyone who can hold a weapon. The young ones are still alive. We can go save them. Sol raises his hand with a ragged, broken fingernail. Ah, Lan, always dreaming, always talking. You're too hasty for your own good. It's going to get you into trouble. Sol eyes you up and down. An uplander with the light of heaven? That's too good for us. Our kind don't have good things happen. There's always a catch. Lan trusts people because he likes to believe. Isn't that right, Lan? I am the chief. I don't work on faith. Show the light. Wenduog stares at you intently, like a cat watching a bird, and shakes her head in warning. Is there someone else from the surface here? Sol points off to the side. There he is. Hale and hearty and prim as a peacock, just like me. Sol laughs, but quickly returns to business. It's not good. Too many uplanders. Not good. Not right. What are you up to here? You're not one of us. We're not your kind. When the time comes, we'll come to you, not you to us. I will help you find the lost mongrels in the cave, but you can quit hoping for a oh, I'm not going to say that. We're going to show it. We're going to be lawful. Lan speaks the truth. The heavenly flame flares to life at your unspoken command. Bright, pure, dancing with multicolored sparks, like a sunbeam passing through the stained glass. The mongrels abandon their tasks and stare, transfixed. The light is bright, but not blinding. It is warm, but its warmth is soul deep. Sol is silent for a while. Tears are streaming down his wide, pale face, but the old man doesn't even care to wipe them away. So it's true. The angel did not forsake us. No, he came. Back from the dead he came to save our children. Land gives you a nod of thanks. The scaled half of his face is indifferent, but the human half is visibly relieved, as if he wasn't sure all this time that you would support him. Wenduag hisses at you like an angry cat. See these fishermen and these hunters, these husks of men and women? Their blood will be on your hands. We have the blessing of the angels. We will survive and help the young tribesmen. Idiot! You see a bright light and now you think even the maze is no match for you? You always think the worst, Wendu, says Lan. We're not on our own in this anymore. We've got allies. Well, a couple at least. But one good fighter's worth 10 bad ones. Chief Saul says, you have the right of it, Lan, but we're neithers. We're going to wait. I sent a messenger to summon all the tribes. It will take time, yes? But they will all come. They will all come for the light. Wait, Lan. Wait, Uplanders. Rest a while in one of our huts. Our home is your home. Lan sighs. All right, Chief. Understood. Let's hope that a few hours isn't the difference between life and death for those kids. If they ask me what took so long, I'll tell them it was your decision. Wenduag grits her teeth. And we can all level up, which is exciting. We'll do us last. Let's start with Seele. Now, we can do, like, cross-class stuff if we want, but that's a bit much for me. I'm going to stick to single class. We're going to keep her on the road to Paladin, and we'll give her Divine Grace, so she gets a bonus on saving throws, and Lay on Hands, which is a heal. She can heal other people and herself a certain amount of times per day. Okay, she's trained in a lot of these skills. I feel like religion would be needed for her. We're gonna focus on persuasion, but stealth and trickery will not help at all for her. So let's bump up the nature as well. And fine. Persuasion just makes sense for a paladin, so we'll just do that. So we have Lay on Hands. And complete. Alright, next up we have Camellia. She is a shaman spirit hunter. She's going to learn Hex. Trickery, very good for her. She's kind of like our rogue. Oh, she's our nature religion as well. Alright, we'll boost up that. And we can learn a Hex. So I always take Slumber. I think putting people to sleep is very helpful. So we're going to start with that. Okay, we have Lan, the Zen Archer Monk, Way of the Bow. Okay, we're going to give him Mobility. Perception for sure. And Athletics. He's going to be our Nimble Archer. And we can get a feat. Precise shot is very important, because when you, in Pathfinder, when you aim a bow into a battle that one of your allies is involved in, you actually get a -4 penalty on your roll. So this negates that, which is very important. And we'll keep him on the longbow. Longbows are cooler. Okay, now we have Wenduag. Also a fighter. With a bow specialization, I mean. We'll give her Perception and Athletics. Alright, we're going to give her Improved Initiative. And then finally it's us. So we're going to stick with Overwhelming Mage. We're going to focus on Knowledge Arcana, Persuasion, and use Magic Device. We don't have any Perception, which is quite bad. You know what? Take one away from that. Your first skill gives you a +4 bonus, or +3, I mean, to total +4, so we're going to do that, and we get nothing else. But we do get an extra spell slot, so
Adventures await.
we can cast extra. Okay, let's look around a little bit. Let's ask him a few questions. Tell me about the mongrels. Well, we're the Crusaders underground, the children of the first Crusaders. The world wound touches everyone. Look at us, we're all marked by it. The Uplanders didn't like it, so they drove us down here, but we have a secret. We're waiting. When the shield maze falls, that is the end of our lives down here. We'll go up to the surface to fight. Until then, we don't. Our place is here. But now we have all seen the light of the heaven. Now we can go. What other signs do we need? We must fulfill our Crusader duty. What do you think about Wenduog? Ah, Wenduog, our beauty, our huntress. Who is more skilled than Wenduog? There are braver fighters, yes, but brave doesn't mean skilled. Wenduog is the only one who will go into the maze and come out again. The others listen to everything she has to say. Well, what about Lon? Lan. Saul makes a vague gesture. He's not one of us. No, not one of us. His father was one of us, but his mother? No. They took him up to the surface. They ruined him as a child. But then they came back, but he wasn't one of us. A good hunter, yes, but he feels trapped down here. But he can't go up there either. It's not safe. He wouldn't last a gong. Okay, thanks for your answers. What are you going to do now? The messenger is swift. He'll rally the tribes, all of them. The angel's light is with us, so we will follow it. Now you go. Rest. Eat. Can I clarify? Are we Uplanders prisoners or guests here? Have you drawn weapons against us? No. Have you killed us? No. Have you stolen our food? No. Guests. Alright, let's look around. Gonna have a look. There's some loot. We're gonna steal some food right now, probably. Yeah, it looks like it. Just take all of that. There are a few things to look around for in here. All of this loot and all this junk. The mongrels always say the same kinds of things, I think. If you can hunt, you're welcome to stay. We have nothing to feed you. Oh. This is the other Uplander the guy was talking about. Horgus Gwyrm. What a name. Horgus Gwyrm. You know, you're working for Owlcat Games, and you're like, okay, we got this NPC, we need a name for him. How about Horgus Gwyrm? Ah, human face at last, and there I thought that I'd be gazing upon the twisted visages of these troglodytes for the rest of my life. An elderly man in expensive but not ostentatious clothes approaches you. His face is peppered with several healed cuts and bruises, and twisted in an expression of extreme discontent. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Horgus Gwyrm. Yes, that Gwyrm. You no doubt have heard of me if you spent any time at all in the city. I have a business proposition for you. Your name tells me nothing. Who are you? You truly are freshly arrived in the city, then. You couldn't have picked a worse time, that's for certain. Only just arrived and the city's been razed to rubble. You should know that you are looking at one of the richest and most distinguished men in Kenabres. He may not be as well known as a certain swaggering loudmouth who spends their lives traipsing from one ball to the next, but the Gwyrm Trading Company is one of the pillars of the city. I'll have you know. Did you see the marquees in the square? I paid for those. Tried festival delicacies? You have Horgus Gwyrm to thank for that. Well, how did you end up here? For a moment, Horgus's eyes focus on Camellia before his gaze returns to you. Remember, Camellia is pretty clearly a noble of some sort, so maybe they have a connection. Like everyone else, down I went when that accursed beetle cleaved the ground in twain beneath our feet. I'm lucky I didn't break my neck in the fall, and I'm double lucky that I didn't encounter any subterranean cockroaches on my blind wanderings, and instead came across hunters from this settlement. Although I must say that when I first glimpsed their physiognomies, my life flashed before my very eyes. But they turned out to be decent chaps, frightening to look at, but able to keep a bargain. Well, you don't speak very kindly of the mongrels, even though they saved your life. Pah! Kind words are for people with hours to fritter away on pleasantries. Horgus Worm speaks his mind, and he pays for services rendered not with kind words, but with hard coin. I gave the mongrels my dagger in exchange for their help. Its handle is worth more than their whole village. Okay, what kind of business proposition? I don't know what is happening on the surface right now, but I'm determined to find out. You have no intention of seeing out the rest of your days in this village, I suspect. We must find a route back to the surface, to the city if there's anything left of it. You are a spellcaster, I presume. A sorcerer, a wizard. I can't tell which exactly, but it doesn't matter. Spells are always useful, especially in a situation like this. You are strong. It will be no trouble to you, but I, alas, am not fit as I once was. I can't go crawling about through caves, playing at scouts. My proposition is simple. Lead me back to the city, and I shall pay you 1,000 gold coins. We can use diplomacy because we have a major bonus to this. 2,000 gold. Succeeded. We rolled a 16. Horgus' gaze is piercing. Are you taking advantage of my dire circumstances? Very well. Make it 2,000. Alright, we'll say deal. He doesn't have the money on him. I'm not even going to bother with that. Splendid. In the meantime, I shall sit here in the village. Alright, let's go. Go on, go on. Don't forget our agreement. When you find the way out, be sure to tell me. Alright, so we got a quest for him. We were going to be doing the exact same thing anyway, so might as well make 2,000 gold. Just more mongrels around here. It's worth looking around. There's little things we can loot. I think. Okay, nothing over here. Again, we can use the map to just make sure we've uncovered everything. So if we go to the right here, there's more.
March on.
An old smoking pipe.
Onwards.
We'll just take this mutated fish. Right from this guy.
Let us be off.
More fish here. Yep. We're just looting this village, just taking all their stuff. More loot here. I will talk to that guy in a minute. But first, we're going to finish looting because I'm going to sell a bunch of this stuff. More money. An eyeball. Cool. I think this is the way to the maze. Or it's the way we came in. Alright, let's go back to the merchant. See what we can find. You there, a tall woman with a face deformed by an enormous swelling smile. Smiles broadly at you, showing off her double row of small, sharp teeth. You from the surface, you must be tough to make it all the way here. Never thought I'd see the day. Call me Dyra, let's trade. Who are you? People around here call me all sorts. Dyra the Hoarder, Dyra the Coin, Dyra the City Girl. Like that's a bad thing. I trawl the caves picking up all kinds of things from the surface that wash down here through your sewers. I trade all kinds of junk for food and clothes. But only I part with my best finds for coins. Got no coins? Forget what money is? Well, then I have no use for you. If you want city goods, you need to pay for them with gold, like city folk. Why are you so eager to trade with me? Because all the people here are no better than animals now. Daira yells with surprising anger before being overcome with coughing. Our forefathers lived in the city, like you. Our people love to reminisce about armies, knights, crusades, but I couldn't care less about that. Savages with clubs can fight a war. Only civilized folk can buy and sell. They've all forgotten what trading is. They've forgotten the value of gold. They barter hides for plant roots and go on about the feats of the Crusaders. Who cares about them? I don't need help remembering. I have coins and I have things to sell. Now let's trade like proper city folk. I'm not gonna say this. Oh, as Gorham? Oh, because we follow Gorham. Yeah, let's try that. That's coward's talk. As Gorham says, gold is dust. Only iron matters. Iron and the willingness to wield it in battle. I don't know who this Gorham of yours is, but I sincerely hope that he mines that iron himself, forges his own weapons, and also finds time to cook himself dinner and to patch up his underpants. Talking about a warrior's valor is easy when someone else does all the real work for you. Seems kind of profound for somebody who lives in a cave. Let's trade. So we can sell a bunch of our junk, usable, notable ingredients. A lot of these weapons we don't need. Like that. That. We'll keep our torches. We can sell the flail, sell the masterwork dagger, the short spear, the light mace. We'll keep that crossbow. No, we'll sell it. It's worth money. The Kama and the masterwork greatsword. It's worth good money. We'll keep the armor. We'll keep that too, because somebody will be able to use that and sell that. I'm going to keep all the ingredients, all the usables. Yeah. So we'll make 511 gold. We can have a quick look. I'm not too worried about our equipment right now. It'll become important once we have like a full party together. I do feel like our character is kind of lacking in terms of anything. Because we're a sorcerer, we really just like fire a crossbow from the back line and like randomly almost never do damage. Okay, where's the rest spot? It's right here. Getting close to the end of the episode here. Let's rest up, though. Lan. The messenger returned. The tribes are gathering at the entrance to the maze. Our people have already gone there. I've warned Anivia that the old guy who won't even acknowledge me. Or I warned Anivia, and that old guy won't acknowledge me. Take your time. There's no rush. The most important people always show up late. Everything's going to plan, but one thing's bothering me. Wenduig's gone. What do you think happened to Wenduig? I don't know. She was always stubborn. Maybe she decided she could do it all on her own. I hope she comes back. We'll struggle without her. And she'll struggle without us, no matter how hard she tried to deny it. What about Anivia and Horgus? Are we just going to leave them here? Once we've cleared the maze, the way ahead will be safe. Anivia is in no state to fight. And that Horgus guy, he doesn't look like he'll shift an inch unless we roll out a red carpet all the way to the exit. All the tribes? So a whole army is marching on the maze? By mongrel standards, yes. But don't be too disappointed when you see the reality. There aren't many of us who can hold a weapon, and fewer still who can do any damage with one. Still, are you sure the maze is the only way to the surface? Lan nods. There was another passage, the one I used with my dad when we left and came back. The chief back then, he found it and filled it in, to stop anybody else from going against the ancestors' wishes. And what the ancestors wanted was for everyone to go through the maze. I'm not sure of anything right now, but we don't have a choice. We can only go forward. Alright, let's go. Let's go, but before we do, thank you. I was so happy I forgot to thank you before, but you've done something no one else has in a long time. You've given the mongrels hope. It's like we're starting to believe that we're worth something, now that we've have the power of the angels on our side. It won't change anything, of course, but at least you can help save the young ones, hopefully. Let's go. So yeah, we've lost a fighter. And I knew that was going to happen, which is why I didn't really care too much about what we gave Wenduog. And we go up here. I think there's a... Oh, I think there's a spot where we can talk to... Let's have a real quick look here.
Let's move.
Yeah, these guys. Horgus Worm says, I am a man of facts, and the facts are simple. You had a duty to protect Canabras, and you failed to do so. While the demons were plotting their attack, you were snooping on upstanding citizens. Anivia says, when we do our job, we don't see a thing because, shocker, nothing bad happens. Remember the time the demon worshippers poisoned all the wells? Or when they blew up the town hall? How about when they murdered all the priests in the temple of... priests of the Temple of Iomade in their beds? Not ringing any bells, huh? That's right, because we stopped all of those things from happening. How did you sleep? So they're arguing. I've always dreamed of spending a night on a slimy sack covered by a filthy rag. I, on the other hand, slept like a log. Nothing better than sleeping on a pile of rocks, and with a covering to keep me warm in the night. No complaints here. Only my leg is getting on my last nerve. The pain just goes on and on. What's the bad blood between you about? It's an old matter. Miss Tirabade here had the notion of spying on me, then of rummaging through my goods. I ask you, do I look like a cultist? Humph. Cultists don't tend to look like cultists, you know. That's kind of the whole problem. And you, Mr. Worm, built a whole secret operation of buying and smuggling into the city. What was it? Oh yeah, magical weapons. How was I supposed to know that all the rigmarole with middlemen was so you could anonymously donate supplies to the crusade? Don't you see, I have a reputation to uphold, one that I value most highly. Horgus Worm is a hard-nosed businessman, not a good fairy from a tale. Yes, I care about my city. Yes, I wish to see that its defenders, my defenders, were well-fed, healthy, and well-armed. But to make those donations openly was unthinkable. I might as well hang a sign outside my door, welcoming in every sponger, leech, and parasite in the city. I appreciate your help for the crusade. No jokes, you're an alright bloke, but carrying on secret dealings in a city that's teeming with cultists is a huge pain in the backside for us lot whose job it is to keep an eye on that sort of thing. Anivia, how's the leg? She scrunches her nose. Well, it hasn't fallen off yet, so that's good. They've bandaged me up all nice and smeared some stinking stuff on the wound, so it looks like I'm gonna live. They said wait a day, and it'll be right as rain, so I'm waiting. Oh, so you don't have to come do the dungeon with us. I get it. What do you think's happening in the city right now? Perhaps the city is no more. If Discari himself appeared, there's no telling how bad things are. Can you hold off on writing our obituaries just yet? The city's full of fighters, and besides that, it's barely a stone's throw from Nerocion. Nerocion? Some other city nearby? Oh, the capital of Mendev. I think our people will hold on long enough for reinforcements to come from the Queen. This ain't Discari's home turf. He's gonna have to retreat or else fight off the whole Mendevian army. What do you think of the mongrels? I thought they were just a story, the sort of thing drunks in the tavern would come out with. Now I discover that it's true. Well, what can I possibly think of them? The poor creatures are most unfortunate, with their faces and their minds so deformed. It's a miracle they're even alive. The part that boggles my mind is that they're the descendants of the first Crusaders. All these years they've been living beneath our feet in caves in the dirt. If I'd known the legends about them were true, I'd have dedicated my life to getting them out of this place. Well, now you know, so maybe you can dedicate your life to getting them out of this place. To what end? The people of Canabras would have stoned them on sight, and Prelate Horgrun would have had them tossed on the pyre en masse. Whatever the ills of this place, it is their home. How long do you think they would have survived on the surface? Alright, what are you going to do when you get back? I'm going to go home. Last I knew, I owned a very fine mansion. I shall see if it's still standing, or if I'm now homeless. I'm going to find Irabeth. She's my wife and the leader of the Eagle Watch. As long as she lives, she won't allow Canabras to fall. Go on then, and don't dilly-dally. The sooner we get out of here, the likelier we are to find some people still alive up there. Take care of yourself. Alright, guys. Lots of talking. My throat is feeling it. That is going to do it for this episode. I'm just going to go position myself outside the gate here. But we're not going to go in. We're going to save it right outside. And we will continue recording next time. I hope you're enjoying so far. It's a bit of a slow start, but I know for a fact in the next episode we're going to go into our first dungeon. It's kind of the tutorial dungeon for the game, and we're going to be doing a lot more battle, a lot more searching around, disarming traps, stuff like that. So we'll see you then. Hope you're enjoying the series, and I'll see you in the next one.